Don't. Dad? So you run every day?
Gotta stay in shape. Not all of us get to do our thing by sitting in the backseat of a car.
The wait is almost unbearable. Dexter. Resurrection has reignited the obsession of millions of fans, and with the first season heading toward its finale, the question on everyone's mind is clear. Will there be a season 2, or will Paramount pull the plug just like it did with Dexter? Original Sin. Rumors, leaks, and official hints have been circulating, but one thing is certain. This isn't just about another TV season. It's about whether Dexter's story truly has the future fans were promised, or if history is about to repeat itself in the most devastating way possible. From the moment Dexter, Resurrection premiered, it felt different. Unlike New Blood, which always carried an air of finality around it, this new chapter was launched with the promise of continuation. Michael C. Hall himself hinted in early interviews that the plan was never for just one season. And Clyde Phillips, the showrunner who knows Dexter better than anyone, reinforced that idea. They wanted Resurrection to be the next great era of Dexter, not just a one-off event. But in today's Hollywood, promises mean little without action, and fans are right to be suspicious. After all, we just witnessed Dexter, Original Sin, a series with critical praise and strong buzz, being axed overnight. Nobody saw it coming, yet it happened. And now, as the Resurrection finale approaches, viewers cannot shake the fear that this continuation could face the same unpredictable fate. The concern is not unfounded. Television history is filled with examples of shows that looked unstoppable but collapsed under network decisions. Budgets shift, executives change, and suddenly, a beloved series becomes nothing more than a memory. What makes this particularly haunting for Dexter fans is how fresh the Original Sin cancellation still feels. Paramount had invested in the prequel, built up its 1991 Miami setting, and teased so much untold story. Yet despite glowing reviews and a strong following, the series was deemed expendable in the chaos of corporate restructuring. That memory lingers like a ghost over Resurrection, casting doubt even as momentum builds for its renewal. But here's where Resurrection separates itself. Unlike Original Sin, which was a prequel spin-off detached from the core story, Resurrection is not just another side project, it is the main event. It is the official continuation of Dexter Morgan's legacy, and that makes it valuable in ways that a prequel never could be. Showtime and Paramount are not blind to this reality. Ratings have been strong, reviews have been overwhelmingly positive, and perhaps most importantly, the fan base has exploded with energy and excitement. Canceling Resurrection now would not only betray the promises of the creators, but also alienate a loyal audience that has proven its willingness to follow Dexter through every twist, every revival, every risk. Networks rarely turn away from such power. Still, optimism must be balanced with caution. Hollywood's unpredictability does not discriminate. Even when every sign points to success, executives can still make decisions that defy logic. This is why the fandom finds itself trapped in a strange limbo, confident that Resurrection will return, but scarred enough by Original Sin to never feel fully secure. The whispers about Season 2 have only added to this tension. Reports that the writer's room is scheduled to open soon suggest that plans are already moving forward, yet until Paramount or Showtime releases an official statement, nothing is carved in stone. Fans are left clinging to hints, piecing together interviews, and scrutinizing every move the network makes. And that's the heart of the suspense. On one hand, we see the evidence, writers preparing, creators confirming, ratings soaring. On the other hand, we remember how quickly certainty can vanish, as it did with Original Sin. The battle between hope and fear is what fuels the current speculation. Will Resurrection stand tall as the new flagship of the Dexter universe, carrying the story forward into multiple seasons? Or will corporate reshuffling, budget cuts, or shifting strategies leave fans devastated once again? This question hangs heavy, and with the finale approaching, the need for answers grows louder every day. To understand why fans remain so torn between confidence and doubt, we need to look closer at what has been revealed about Dexter, Resurrection's future, and how Paramount is handling the franchise. Co-showrunner Scott Reynolds recently admitted in an interview that they have mapped out multiple seasons of Resurrection, not just one or two. This is significant. Unlike New Blood, which was designed as a limited event, Resurrection was built from the ground up as a long-term continuation. Writers don't plan arcs stretching years into the future unless they are confident the network is behind them. Yet in this industry, plans and reality don't always align. Networks approve storylines, scripts, and even cast commitments, only to later walk away when corporate priorities shift. This is the shadow that looms over Resurrection, the same shadow that consumed Original Sin. The difference, however, lies in leverage. Resurrection has something Original Sin never truly had, the weight of Dexter Morgan himself. Michael C. Hall's return is not a side note, it is the selling point. This show is tied directly to the character who made the franchise iconic. That matters, because while prequels and spin-offs can be canceled with relatively minor backlash, pulling the plug on the main Dexter series would ignite a firestorm, Paramount is aware of this risk. Fans have already shown they are willing to rally, protest, and demand answers when decisions go against them. The outcry after Original Sin's cancellation was loud. But imagine the uproar if Resurrection were suddenly cut short. The damage to Paramount's reputation would be far greater, especially when the streaming wars are as competitive as ever. Another factor working in Resurrection's favor is timing. When Original Sin was canceled, Paramount was undergoing massive restructuring, trimming costs and shelving projects to balance budgets. That was the environment in which even promising shows could not survive. Resurrection, by contrast, arrived during a period where Paramount needed a flagship title to hold the spotlight. Dexter is not just another show. It is a proven franchise that generates headlines, social media buzz, and loyal subscriptions. In an era where every streaming platform is desperate for attention, a series with this much built-in hype is far too valuable to discard lightly. And yet, the silence from Paramount still unnerves fans. The network has not rushed to confirm Season 2, and that hesitation creates doubt. Some argue that this is simply business as usual. Showtime and Paramount often delay renewal announcements, sometimes waiting weeks or months after a finale before making anything official. Others fear the hesitation signals internal debates, budget evaluations, or negotiations that could drag on longer than expected. In either case, the absence of clarity feeds speculation, and speculation breeds fear. Fans are left in a holding pattern, watching every rumor spread across forums and social media. Some point to the writer's room opening as proof that Season 2 is a done deal. Others caution that writers' rooms have been assembled before, only for projects to be scrapped before production. Every new piece of information, every interview quote, every social media tease is dissected for hidden meaning. It is a strange kind of obsession, one born out of love for the show but sustained by mistrust of the industry that controls it. And perhaps that is the true tension here. Not whether Resurrection will continue, but whether fans can ever feel safe trusting Paramount again. They have been burned too many times. They know too well how fragile even the strongest show can be when budgets, executives, or strategies shift. Resurrection may have every advantage Original Sin lacked, but until the official word comes, nothing is guaranteed. And so the fandom waits, caught in a cycle of hope and dread, clinging to the belief that Dexter Morgan's story is far from over, while bracing for the possibility of heartbreak all over again. If Dexter, Resurrection Season 2, is as inevitable as it seems, when can fans expect it? And what does Paramount's silence really mean? On the surface, all the signs point to movement behind the scenes. Industry insiders have already hinted that the writer's room for Season 2 is opening soon, which usually signals a network's confidence in continuing the story. Writers do not gather, pitch arcs, and map out new plots unless they believe production will follow. Yet fans have learned the hard way that Hollywood logic does not always align with fan expectations. A show can look ready to move forward and still be delayed or canceled at the last possible moment. This is why the suspense feels so unbearable. Every clue seems to confirm renewal, yet the ghost of Original Sin reminds everyone that nothing is safe until Paramount makes it official. Still, if we follow the traditional schedule, Resurrection's second season could arrive faster than many expect. Most Showtime dramas, once renewed, return within 12 to 18 months. That means a late 2025 or early 2026 release window is the most likely scenario. If the writer's room is already forming, scripts could be drafted before the year is out, allowing filming to begin sometime in the first half of 2025. Of course, this timeline assumes no disruptions, no strikes, and no sudden budget crises. In today's volatile television climate, those are dangerous assumptions. Fans hoping for an exact date will be disappointed, but the realistic expectation is clear. Dexter. Resurrection Season 2 is on track, but it may take patience to see it realized. Behind the scenes, the bigger issue isn't scheduling, it's Paramount's decision-making. Since its merger and restructuring, the company has been ruthless in trimming projects, shelving even popular titles to save money. This ruthless streak is what killed Original Sin, and it is what fans fear could strike again. Insiders describe these boardroom decisions as cold calculations. Which shows bring subscribers, which shows cost too much, and which shows can be sacrificed with the least backlash. Resurrection, by all accounts, falls into the safe category, given its strong performance and critical praise. But fans cannot shake the thought that safety in Hollywood is an illusion. If Paramount executives decide that even Resurrection is too expensive or that the franchise needs another shift, the outcome could change overnight. This is why so much attention has turned to fan reaction. Networks know that audience loyalty can make or break a show's future. Resurrection has proven itself not only with strong ratings, but also with an engaged online community. Fans analyze episodes frame by frame, flood social media with theories, and keep Dexter trending long after new episodes air. This level of devotion matters. It makes cancellation more costly, not just financially, but reputationally. Paramount would risk alienating one of its most passionate audiences if it dared to shelve Resurrection now. And in a world where streaming platforms fight for every subscriber, angering fans is a dangerous gamble. Yet, in spite of all these advantages, doubt remains. The memory of Original Sin's sudden cancellation has become a scar that won't fade. Fans cannot help but picture the same press release, the same headlines, announcing Resurrection's end just when anticipation is at its peak. That fear creates a strange atmosphere, one where even good news feels fragile. Every interview from the creators, every tease about future storylines, is met not only with excitement, but also with the lingering question, will Paramount actually let it happen? Until the official renewal announcement comes, this tension will not ease. The story of Resurrection's future is no longer just about Dexter Morgan. It has become a battle between fans' hope and their distrust of the industry that controls the fate of their favorite show. As the dust begins to settle around Dexter, Resurrection's explosive first season, the weight of Paramount's next move hangs heavier than ever. The evidence is overwhelming. The writer's room is preparing, the creators have mapped out multiple seasons, the ratings are strong, and fan enthusiasm is unmatched. All logic suggests that Season 2 is not just likely, but practically guaranteed. Yet the industry is rarely guided by logic alone. Corporate shakeups, budget realignments, and strategic pivots can override even the clearest signals of success. This is the harsh reality fans know too well, and it is why so many still whisper the same question in fear. What if Resurrection becomes the next Original Sin? Inside Paramount, the decision is more than just about money. It is about identity. The company has been desperate for a prestige series that commands both critical respect and fan obsession. Dexter has already proven it can deliver both. Canceling Resurrection now would be an admission of weakness, a reckless move that would enrage fans and damage Paramount's credibility at a time when every subscriber matters. Keeping it alive, on the other hand, cements Dexter as the jewel of their lineup, a series that can anchor their streaming strategy for years to come. The stakes, therefore, are enormous. This is not just another renewal. It is a test of whether Paramount values loyalty, stability, and long-term vision over short-term cuts and ruthless cost-saving measures. For fans, the waiting game is torture. Each day without an announcement fuels more speculation. Release date predictions swirl across social media, with many convinced that late 2025 is the most realistic target. Others believe Paramount may delay production slightly to maximize impact, aiming for early 2026 instead. Either way, the anticipation is building, and the silence only magnifies the suspense. The future of Dexter. Resurrection is not simply a matter of scheduling. It is a story in itself, a cliffhanger playing out in the real world, leaving millions of viewers trapped in the same suspense that defines Dexter Morgan's on-screen life. And so, the finale approaches not just for Season 1, but for the fate of the franchise itself. If Paramount makes the right call, fans will soon be celebrating the official greenlight for Season 2, diving back into a world of shadows, secrets, and moral ambiguity. If they make the wrong call, however, the fallout will be catastrophic. Another betrayal, another heartbreak, another reminder that in Hollywood, nothing is sacred. What happens next is out of the fans' hands, and that is what makes it so agonizing. For now, the truth is simple. Dexter. Resurrection is too powerful to ignore, too beloved to discard, and too important to Paramount's future to simply vanish. The official announcement may take time, but all signs point to the story continuing. Whether in late 2025 or early 2026, Dexter Morgan's legacy is far from finished. Yet until Paramount speaks, fans remain suspended in uncertainty, waiting for the decision that will decide whether this is truly the beginning of a new era or the cruel end of one.